Hello, welcome to this brand new After Effects tutorial. Today we create a love letter animation that you see on the screen. Alright, here we are in After Effects. Create a new composition and then use the standard settings. Click OK. Right click over here, go to new and then create a solid. I'll call this E3D, doesn't matter the color, click OK. And then go to Effects and Presets, type in Element, and this is a plugin from Video Copilot, so you'll have to download it, but don't worry about it much because this one is a lifesaver. This will make us avoid to create a cube from the scratch, so I won't dive into it too much. We will stick with After Effects, so we will double click on it, add it to solid layer, so go to Effect Controls and then select Scene Setup. And now go to create and then create a cube. Now open the settings and go to default and then this one, diffuse, over here. We are gonna click on this and then click on load texture and then we are gonna import our logo. Click OK and we are done. So we just click OK and there we have it in our project. So now we are gonna right click, go to new and create a camera. We will be using best settings. Click OK. Now I'm gonna select this tool and then while holding shift I drag it like so. And now I'm gonna select a rectangle tool and then create a shape like so. Something like that. And then duplicate this, move it down. I can make this smaller. I can make this smaller as well and move it up. So I move it up as well while holding shift. And I select this one, first one, and then go to fill and give it this brighter red color from our cube. And then we select the solid, which has the Element 3D plugin, and then we move it up above. So these shapes are back now. Type in our text. And then I'll make this 80, I'll make the size 80 and then move it somewhere around here. And then duplicate it, Ctrl D, move it down over here. And then I'll change the text for this one. And I'm gonna change the size as well to 60 and move it around here. Now I'm gonna keep the 3D layer up above and then select the 3D layer and then go to group 1, go to particle look and then go to first second, set a keyframe on particle size, go back to the beginning and then change this to 0. So we have this scaling up. I'll press U to view the keyframes, select those and then press F9 to easy ease and then do this adjustment into the curves. Now go to particle replicator and then here at 1 second we set a keyframe on first position X, Y, set a keyframe on it, go to 2 seconds and then change it, move it, change its X position to somewhere around here. So I'll press U to view back the keyframes, and then select both of those, F9, and do the same thing that we've just done into the curve. So we'll be having something like this now. While it's moving from right to left, so go to the keyframe while holding shift, I go to the beginning of the keyframe, and then so it's at 1 second, and now we can just go to rotation, and then we change the Y rotation. So set a keyframe on it at the beginning and then go to the end of it, so 2 seconds, and then change this to 1, so it makes a full rotation. I'll press U to view the keyframes. I just pressed U twice, and then select both of these keyframes, F9, and do the same thing, same adjustment into the curve. So we'll be having something like that. Now I'm gonna select the bottom layers, so I'll close this ones and then just select the bottom layers, and then Ctrl-Shift-C to pre-compose those. Name it whatever you want. I don't know what to call this right now, so click OK. Now we can just select Pen tool. So I'll go to here where the animation ends, select Pen tool, don't have anything selected over here, and then we create a shape like so. So while holding shift, I create a straight line, and then we can just make sure to take off the fill. So go to fill settings and set fill to none, and then set stroke to 3 and have it at white color. Change the color to white. And now we are gonna go to Shape Layer 1, open the settings, go to Add, and then add Trim Path Animator to it, and then open the settings for Trim Path. Now we are gonna go to 3 seconds, and then we change the start to 100, set a keyframe on it, and then go to 4 seconds, and then change this back to 0. Now select both of these keyframes, press F9, go to Graph Editor, and then change, make an adjustment into the curve like that. Let's have a look. So now we can move this shape layer down. Right. Now have all these layers selected, so select the first one, hold shift, click on the last one, press Ctrl-Shift-C to pre-compose, click OK, and now right click over here, go to new, and then create a solid. I'll call this light sweep, make sure the color is white, click OK, and now we can just select, while having layer selected, select rectangle tool, and then create a shape like that. This will be our mask. So now we can just duplicate this pre-comp, Ctrl D, and then move it up. So now we are gonna change the track matte of light sweep to alpha matte. And if you don't see this, then just click here, toggle switches, and then you will be able to see it. So now we are gonna press R, but before that we need to center the anchor point into the mask. So we will press Ctrl Alt Home, so it's into the center over here. We will press R for rotation, and then we can rotate it like so. So I'll have it at minus 15, and then I can just move it over here, and then here where this line animation ends, so at 4th second we will have it pause for 2 seconds, so it will go to 6th second, and then press P for rotation, set a keyframe on P for position, set a keyframe on position, and then go to 8 seconds, and then move it like so. And now we can press T for opacity and then change the opacity of it to 35. So we will be having this a light sweep effect. And now select all of those, press Ctrl+Shift+C to pre-compose this as well. I'll call this final, click OK, and then here at 8th second, press T for opacity, set a keyframe on it, and then move to the end of the animation and then change it to 0. So now our animation is done. Let's have a look at it. Lastly, I can just press S and then scale it down, move it into the center, and there we have it. I'll have this one at 70, and then go to the end of it, press T. I'll move this beginning opacity keyframe to 9 seconds, so it disappears faster at the end. So now I'm thinking we are done with the animation. The good thing about this is that we can always go back to where our element 3D layer was. So select it and then go to Effects, Controls, and then go to Scene Setup. Then we can change the logo here. So go to Diffuse, click here, and then click over here. Then we can import our, if we want, we can import another logo and then just click OK, and there we go, it's changed. Then we can change the text and other stuff. I'll now hit Ctrl+Z to undo the changes, and then to render this in transparent background, we can just go to Final Composition here, and then go to up here, go to Composition, Add to Render Queue, and here we get the settings. So we will be using best settings, full resolution, click OK, and output module we make sure it's QuickTime. We go to Format Options and then change this to Animation, click OK. Channels, we choose RGB plus alpha. Audio, we click on this and then check this one, audio output off, because we don't have any audio. So click OK, and then over here we can choose where to render this. So you can choose the folder you want to render to, and then just click on Save, and then it will be done. So that will be it for this tutorial. By the way, you can actually subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss on the upcoming tutorials. See you around.